got. I mean, the negative is that you're a distant second in an industry that's a little bit flat, and where again, I mean, it's not like they're a competitive second. If they were competitive second, there's things that you can do to kind of get the competition thing going, but they're so far, and it's also a company where they have brought back the biggest names of this generation, many of them.
Yeah.
And have gotten no traction, or actually far worse off for doing so. Far worse off. So it's not going to be, I mean, what's the miracle idea? I mean, right now what they do is they copy what WWE did a month ago, whether it's on purpose or not. That's what it looks like. You four-way match after WWE's ridiculous four-way pay-per-view, Invasion after WWE's Invasion. Great. Your WWE Light. I mean, that guarantees you're not going anywhere.
Before we get into Raw, since we talked about it briefly yesterday, what were your thoughts on the Triple Mania show?
I haven't seen the Parkham match. I saw the match with Jack Evans and Christopher Daniels and Nosawa and Extreme Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea why Extreme Tiger did that 450 splash from the top rope to the floor with no mats on the floor.
Because he's an idiot.
I've only seen one guy do something like that. I've never actually seen a guy do something bad. The only thing I remember about little under 30 years ago, Dynamite Kid did something, roughly that crazy.
Oh, that's great
and
to
blew out
hear.
both of his kneecaps while doing it.
Yeah.
And I figured that, why would anyone ever do that? And I watched, and I guess he got up and everything, but how do you do that?
I don't know how you... I don't know.
I mean, I watched that.
I've never have tried something like that in my entire life.
It's like, okay, that was super impressive. That was, incredible. But, I mean, with the Jack Evans stuff, Jack Evans did all kinds of great stuff, but at least I understand, what he was doing, and then it wasn't like, the landings were, his falls were being broken, and they weren't terrible bumps. They were just really cool acrobatic stuff. This was a really cool acrobatic move, but I didn't, what were you thinking while doing it? And thank God you got up, because I think most people do. I couldn't imagine doing that and never getting up.
No. Don't do that, all of you indie workers listening right now.
Jesus Christ, don't, watch that tape and copy that. Copy Jack Evans, but shit. I wouldn't even necessarily say that, but geez, that Extreme Tiger move, unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've seen of the show, what I like is that, and it has to do with TNA, in the sense that when you've got that, and a lot of it's the big crowd, when you're performing in front of 15,000 people, and you've got all the special effects and the great ring entrances and everything like that, I felt watching it that some of these people, that really, to me, in a lot of ways, don't look like stars. Because of the atmosphere and the way they were presented, they all felt like stars on this show. And watching TNA, so many of the guys don't feel like stars. It was like watching a WWE show, where some of the guys that are mid-card guys and everything in WWE, just the way that they come to the ring and they have their own entrance and they're in a big state, a big arena with a pyro and everything, they look like stars, and that makes people think of them as stars. So I was impressed with them. But that goes with the territory with AAA going back to 17 years since they started the promotion. I mean, I always thought that one of their big strengths is the ability to use between the contemporary music and the ring entrances and the costuming, that they make guys look like stars. And of course, the Park feud, when you watch all the clips and everything like that, it's kind of weird watching it, but I mean, it really was. That was like a really, I mean, that was a really big deal match. So I kind of got off on that, just the idea that you're seeing a really, a match that felt like it meant something, because how often, in U.S. pro wrestling, I mean, it